Griffin Della Penna here with Iona head coach Rick Pitino. Coach, it was a 7-point lead for you guys at halftime. What adjustments did your team make to really take command of what was previously a back-and-forth matchup?
You know, this was probably our poorest game in the last 15. Now, we've had some bad games this year. We've had some great games. But this is about the poorest we've played defense. Now, offensively, we were shooting at a high level, but we weren't playing the defense we normally play. That happens every now and then because you're relying on your offense. But if your defense is not your common denominator, you have no chance of being a great team. No matter how you play on offense, the defense must be there, and tonight it wasn't.
Tonight makes it 4 straight games for you guys now in conference play. In what ways is your team living up to the preseason expectations to win the MAC?
Well, I'll tell you, we played a really difficult schedule. We've played St. Louis, New Mexico. We went to Hawaii. We went to Las Vegas and played Santa Clara at 2 in the morning. We played Princeton. We played Penn. That's where we're going. Down the road, we're going to have New Mexico come in. We're going to be in the Battle of Atlantis. We're trying to take the Gonzaga model of scheduling. I wish I could take the Gonzaga model of players, but it's coming. It just takes time.
Tostavetsky had a career night for Canisius. What can you say about the game of the redshirt freshman?
He was great. He hurt us. He made the shot. He's very quick. He's a terrific young player.
So I'll leave you with this. I was going through the archives today, and I found this game program, Canisius versus your Boston Terriers, 1982-83 season. It was played at the old auditorium. What are your first memories that come to mind? I know it's been 40 years.
Who won?
This one, you guys won.
Okay.
The year before, you lost by 2.
No, I don't remember that one. I remember the one we won. No, I don't remember. You know, I'm coaching, I think, 46, 45 years as a head coach.
Right.
And I told my team tonight, you know, guys, I went through, I thought I coached at Kentucky 7 years. I was reading for the first time. I coached for 8 years. And I said, you know what's special? I've got 3 players from Texas, 3 players from Florida, player from Missouri. I got 3 from Africa, 1 from Ireland through Nigeria. Yep. So it's terrific. I only have 1 New Yorker, and he's the president's son.
Down here with head coach Ryan Louie. Coach, you're up 1-0 in large part for your stifling defense. They didn't allow a shot until the 33rd minute. How much of the emphasis was on the defensive side of the ball considering these weather conditions? I'm here with a very special guest in Commissioner Rich Enzer. Rich, it's been a very impressive 35 years for you as Commissioner of the MAC. As your time is winding down, what are some of your emotions? Going now with our Pepsi player of the game, Jaco Fritz. Jaco, 13 points, 5 of 6 shooting, 9 rebounds, 3 steals, 2 assists. You led your team in all those categories. Over the last 4 games, what has been so key to you continuing your great production? Griffin Della Penna here with head coach Jim Jaber. Coach, last time you played Fairfield, you were down 26-15 at half. What do you have to do in this potential comeback scenario? Coach, it's been a game of runs up to this point. What did you say to the team at the 6:40 mark to ignite a 13-point run unanswered against Iona? I'm with today's Pepsi player of the game, Danny Haskell. Led all scores with 16 points, career high 7 assists, 5 rebounds. Coming off your last performance, what did you have to do here today to help put your team on top?
I've been in my head a lot lately, especially coming off the injury, but I just had my teammates and coaches, and we've had good practices, and we knew like it doesn't matter about the other teams, it's about us, and so I just really forgot about the last game. We all forgot about the last game and realized like it's us that we need to fix, and we fixed it.
Today was ALS Awareness Night. I know that was very important for your program. How important was it for you specifically, because I know you're good friends with Vanessa, to honor her late father, Steve? Joined now with our Pepsi player of the game, Juana Camilleon. 22 points, that's now tying your season high. Went 8 for 12 from the field, 4 threes, 8 rebounds, 3 steals. A huge stat line for you today. That's now 5 of your last 6 games where you've scored over 18 points. What's been working for you offensively?
Today, I don't know, I was confident that as soon as we got here, we're going to work and we're going to, you know, like make it hard for them. And personally, I was just confident in my shot, you know, like making whatever is possible to make us win, and I guess I did. So just trying to do my job, you know.
We had 30 points against the Griffs last year, so maybe it's just something with Canisius. But
I guess so.
Earlier in the first quarter, you're now the all-time leader in steals in program history for Iona. Defensive Player of the Year last year. Why do you take so much pride in the defensive end of the floor?
It's men's Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference College basketball on ESPN3 as the reigning champ St. Peter's Peacocks take on the Canisius College Golden Griffins from the Kessler Athletic Center in downtown Buffalo, New York. Hello, everybody. Griffin Della Penna live here in studio, welcoming you to the Franco's Pizza pregame show, giving you everything you need to know for this conference matchup between two Jesuit schools, I might add, and the Peacocks and the Griffs. It's Buffalo News Storyline time, and today's headline reads, Tale of Two Seasons. Canisius comes into this one following a 1-point loss to Mount St. Mary's on Sunday, snapping a 2-game win streak against Quinnipiac and Ryder. That makes it the 6th time this season in 12 conference losses that the Griffs have been defeated by 5 points or less. For St. Peter's, it's been a whirlwind calendar year, to say the least. Remember last year when they were the national darlings, defying the odds, going to the Elite Eight? Well, fairy tales don't last forever, and a lot has changed since then. Head coach Shaheen Holloway, he left to his alma mater at Seton Hall, and he took his best player, Casey Nadufo, with him. They also lost the likes of the Drame brothers to LaSalle. Doug Egger and his famous mustache went to Bryant, and then we've already seen Daryl Banks III, their former leading scorer, who now plays at St. Bonaventure. They now return just 18% of their scoring from last year, and as we take a look at the Delta Sonic MAC standings, it makes sense why they're towards the basement of the conference. We're just going to focus on the bottom 4 teams in Mount St. Mary's, St. Peter's, Marist, and Canisius. There is so little room between those 4 teams. In the next week and a half, a whole lot can change. Canisius currently, out of those 4 teams, has the easiest remaining schedule with 3 home games, while adversely, St. Peter's has the toughest remaining schedule in their final 4 games. Now we're going to take a look at our Ad Pro player to watch, who is coming off a career performance, and that is Jordan Henderson. He had a career-high 28 points against the Mounties, and for the Cincinnati, Ohio native, he climbed to 4th in program history in 3-point makes, passing Kevin Downey with 187 lifetime. He joined the 1,000-point club earlier this season and is 10th in scoring in the MAC right now at 14.3 points per game, 5th in threes per game, and 10th, averaging 32 minutes per contest. Now, if Canisius wants to win the season series, they are going to have to shoot the 3 and shoot the 3 efficiently. They're still making 8.9 threes per game, leading the MAC in 40th in the country, and in their last 3 games, they're averaging exactly 80 points, which correlates to really good shooting numbers. Reggie Witherspoon has talked about being resilient. We've already mentioned their late game struggles, but Canisius on the road in early January beat St. Peter's in overtime 67-60, and without Jordan Henderson making them victorious in 7 of the last 9 matchups against St. Peter's. For head coach Bashir Mason, he needs a huge game from Isaiah Dasher. The 5th-year guard has been reliable. He averaged just 5 points last year, but has increased that total to 14 per night, scoring in double digits in 21 of the last 22 games, including 19 against Canisius. And St. Peter's is the complete opposite in terms of they struggle to score, but they play great defense, and we will see what the Peacocks have in store tonight. So that's all that I have here in studio. I'll now send it down courtside to the 2 other members in our crew, and Jay Moran and Richard Walsh.
Thanks, guys. I'm down here now on the field for today's Independent Health Injury Report. It's the same 2 Griffs that will be held out here today, with both Luke Zablewski as well as Federico Moretto being considered week to week with their lower body injuries. There's only one change in today's starting 11 for the Griffs, as freshman Michael Switala will get the nod, replacing Riley Boyer. My last tidbit for you today is actually in the coaching matchup, as Canisius' head coach Michael Tanky and head coach Forciana Graciano Brito actually played together professionally during their time with the Rochester Rhinos, as the 2 buddies are really good friends. Back here in studio for the Atlantic Hockey Playoff Preview Show, Griffin Della Penna here with Vinny Cristiano. And conference play started back in about mid-October, and what a wild ride it has been, Vinny, as we take a look at the standings from the regular season. Who would have thought in the beginning of the season that the Golden Griffins would be playing the Golden Gophers in the NCAA tournament? I'm Griffin Della Penna reporting for GoGriffs.com, and this is this week's edition of Around Canisius Athletics presented by Niagara Scenic Tours. For the 2nd time in program history, the Canisius hockey team is the Atlantic Hockey Champions, following their 3-0 win over the number 7 seed Holy Cross Crusaders here at the Lecom Harbor Center on Saturday night. Opening the scoring was Nick Bowman, and then 2 empty net goals from Marcus Boguslavski and Keaton Mastrodonato were the difference. Following the ESPN selection show, Canisius will now play the top overall seed in the Minnesota Golden Gophers in Fargo, North Dakota on Thursday, as that game will be available to be viewed on ESPN2 with puck drop scheduled for 9 p.m. After playing just 2 games in the Penn State invite due to inclement weather, the Canisius softball team earned their 1,000th career program win against Cornell 2-0 before losing to the Penn State Nittany Lions 7-0. They'll have their first home games of the 2023 campaign this upcoming Wednesday against the Syracuse Orange for a doubleheader starting at 2 p.m. The women's lacrosse team got back to their winning ways at the Dembski Sports Complex, defeating Robert Morris 12-5 and Youngstown State 15-3. Senior Paige Tatura netted her 100th career point in the win against the Penguins. They'll have another conference game coming up this Saturday at home against Manhattan. The men's lacrosse team picked up their first 2 wins on the campaign at home against Little 3 rival St. Bonaventure and in conference play against Marist. Redshirt sophomore Colin Kelly netted 7 goals in the 18-16 win over the Red Foxes, as they'll now go on the road to play the defending MAC champ Manhattan Jaspers this upcoming Saturday. Multiple spring sport programs will get their seasons underway as the golf team just completed the Carpetbagger Classic in Maryland. The rowing team will have their first regatta at Cornell, and outdoor track will compete in the Raleigh Relays hosted by NC State. If you aren't able to make the trip to Fargo, North Dakota, make sure to cheer on your Griffs against Minnesota this upcoming Thursday with puck drop in Fargo scheduled for 9 p.m. on ESPN2. Signing off for this episode of Around Canisius Athletics, I'm Griffin Della Penna, and as always, go Griffs.
Had 30 points very recently against Fairfield. Shooting that, TJ Gadsden, that's his first shot of the day. A little bit too much on it. Noah Thomason working quick now to Aaron Gray. And Thomason with TJ Gadsden on him. Step back, bring it back up top to Kasperzik. You could tell Greg Paulus wanted his team to slow it down. He doesn't want them to play a Canisius pace and a little bit too much room for Obioha as he gets his first 2.
He's a very enthusiastic player. He likes to, you know, that mustard hot dog comment I made in the women's game would be applicable here.
So the main freshman, they have 5 on this team that has a lot of minutes. Came in last year mid-season, could not play due to the mid-year transfer, but an impactful first-year player, and he absolutely mauled TJ Gadsden right there.
You know, you can definitely see Niagara's defensive philosophy here. Like I said, they give cushion. They're going to let Long take that. They're going to let Fritz take that. Gadsden, not so much. And they're not going to give you any easy ones inside, as evidenced by that hard foul there.
TJ Gadsden, 32 for 39 from the charity stripe this year at 82.1%. Averaging a little bit over 7.5 points on the campaign, as his first one was well long.
You can kind of see the emotions of a rivalry game kind of playing out here a little bit. You know, Gadsden, you know, the last 5 games, 9 for 10. Taj is 13 for 13 from the foul line. So Chris has been doing a nice job, and I think Yako is 12 for 14. So they're going to need all those here this afternoon.
A team that was dreadful at the beginning of the year from the free throw line has their average all the way up to 72.2. That's 6th in the conference, but where they were originally and how they've missed free throws at big times. You go back to when they were playing home games at the Gallagher Center against Ryder and Mount St. Mary's. Those extremely tight games were down the stretch. You know, they're shooting 1 for 8 in the final 5 minutes from the free throw line. They've really cleaned that up, and that is impressive to see if you're a fan of Canisius. Kasperzik with Trey Dinkins on him. Great defense, stealing that one to get cookie. Steve Eitendahl checks into the game, gives it right back. Xavier Long checking in as well. Lance Irving for Niagara as Dinkins' second 3 of the day is off.
Nice transition defense there by Niagara off a turnover. That's not easy to do, a run out. They did a really nice job.
Lance Irving wanted the ball there. Noah Thomason just weaving his way through the defense, showing why he is the best scorer in the MAC. Very reminiscent of like a James Harden in the NBA.
Excellent.
Very crafty, another left-handed guy as well. It's very impressive.
Excellent analogy, I would agree.
George Maslenikov, I have no idea how he just got that shot to fall. Did not look very pretty, but it's 2 points nonetheless.
He looked like the Leaning Tower of Pisa there, you know, but you know what? You got to concentrate, right, when you get close, and he certainly did in that instance.
Canisius 1 for 5 from 3 so far. Another great move. Foul called on Jordan Henderson. It's Noah Thomason showing what he can do for this Niagara team, putting the team on his back so far with 6 of their 12 points. You're watching back from men's college basketball on ESPN3.
Still a big spot against Jackson Strong. 2 runners aboard. Canisius already 2 runs here in the bottom of the second, and looking to add some more. That ball fouled off by Jackson Strong, who, if you remember last time, well, he was responsible for the first 2 runs of the ball game. 2 RBI single last inning.
Yeah, hey, freshman, welcome to the game. First guy you face is one of the hottest hitters on the other team at this point in Strong.
The runners aboard, Cole Sebastian, Mike DiStefano. Runners are on the corners. A lot of speed on the base pass for Canisius. Pollock gets the sign, delivers home to the lefty. That one almost gets away. Nice stop by Riley behind the dish.
Yeah, Riley's shown a couple early on in this game. We mentioned he's not the starting catcher, but it's his job till further notice with Sullivan being injured. But he's had a couple of plays where he's had to move around a little bit, make sure that something didn't get by him. So he's coming up okay there.
Pollock leaves that one in the middle third. Jackson Strong with a chance. You can kiss that one. Way gone by Jackson Strong. 3-run shot for the sophomore. Canisius already 7 runs. There's just 1 out here, Howard, in the second inning.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say about Strong? I'm sorry, I'm laughing because Coach Mazurk said he's off to a strong start to his season. And yeah, he followed up on what he did at Mount St. Mary's this past weekend by continuing to show some power in his bat. And you could not ask for a better start than what we've seen from Canisius, not through the second inning yet, as they are knocking the ball all over the Dembski Sports Complex.
Pouring it on. Jackson Strong, 5 of 7 RBIs up to this point. And we're still in the second inning, so there will be multiple opportunities if they decide to keep him in the game. And he knew right off the bat.
Yeah, he tagged it.
Oh,
He went wide into the home run trot pretty quickly, so he knew he made really good contact on that. He had 8 hits in that 3-game sweep over Mount St. Mary's, and in the game here against Binghamton, 2 hits and 2 at-bats in the first 2 innings.
5 hits this past Sunday to boot. So Pollock will not be registered those runs. Those will be McElhinney's. Pollock now, fresh start. This is all him now. Is not responsible for any of the other batters up to this point. So 2-1 now. Make it 3-1 for Josh Niles, who also had a single but was stranded at second after the Kyle Kush strikeout. 3-1 home also misses. Canisius had 47 hits on 47 runs against Mount St. Mary's, but I think the more impressive part for them, they also drew 28 walks in that past series.
Yeah, and they've drawn a couple walks here in this inning, so when they're swinging the bats, they're making solid contact. But it's the whole showing a good batter's eye as well, and not really chasing after any pitches. And you got a young freshman in the game, so they're trying to take advantage of Pollock here.
Which also misses upstairs for a ball and a little bit outside. Now to Ryan Weiss, playing first base today. Transfer from Oswego, so making the jump from Division III baseball for his grad year to Division I. This misses low, so struggling a little bit in this appearance. Andrew Pollock. Even a 2-ball here, you get out of it feeling pretty confident.
Yeah, obviously Pollock would love to get some kind of ground ball here or maybe get into it, get a double play and get out of the inning.
That ball hit hard on the ground and will also get through. Throw in by Perez, will be off the mark, but staying stationary at second. So this 5, 6, 7 of the Canisius order is just tagging baseballs right now. Nobody has gotten out so far through that part of the order. And now it'll bring up Kyle Kush with 2 runners on.